Okay, so today I'm watching Season 1, Episode 13 of The Sopranos. Unlucky 13 for either Tony or Junior, because they're both in a very tense situation, and Junior was worried about, obviously, them finding out about the hit. So that was a very heavy, serious episode. See, I go on a streak of criticizing the episodes, like, they're not dealing with serious enough subject matters, like Episodes 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, were all kind of dealing with garbage. Like, 6 was just trying to coordinate Junior, but it was like there was nothing else going on, so it just felt like almost somehow a filler episode. Like, yes, we get it, he's becoming the boss, but there was nothing else to it. Hatch getting taxed, like, that's all. Episode 7 was like flashbacks. Episode 8 was like 8 and 9 were like the soccer coach and something else, and then episode 10 was like the music. What am I forgetting? One of those was the soccer coach and Junior's sex life, which was the F grade, which I think was episode 9. But episode 8 was like, what was episode 8? I can't remember. Some kind of other probably stupid filler plotline that a lot of these things aren't very good. But then it redeemed itself, at least with episode 11, which was the whole Jimmy was kind of the twist, but it was actually Pussy who was being suspected. But that was a pretty good episode. At least it's dealing with a better subject matter, and it deals with it pretty well, like in detective style. Like, it could have been a detective mystery type episode in a series like that. And then also you're in a position where episode 12 comes out, that this is dealing with a big subject matter, maybe not even in the best way, but it was that Tony's going to get hit. And so that's a big decision by Junior. I respect it, though. But let's go over the 3 strikes that Tony does to kind of justify it. Because, see, Junior is a reasonable person, that he's not going to just do it for no reason, and he didn't want to do it. And so it's kind of like he did it only because he felt like he was pushed to. So there are 3 strikes against Tony. The first strike, he's going to therapy, but see, Junior doesn't want to do it then. He's not like, oh, I'm going to kill him just over that. He lets it go. He's like, okay, I'll wait. He finds out about that in like episode 7, right? He doesn't even bring it up. He doesn't make a big thing out of it, but he's still bothered by it. So that's strike 1. He's going to therapy. He could be leaking information, which he actually is, to be fair, which we know, but even just the possibility of it is itself bad. Then number 2, and of course therapy could just be a cover for, oh, I'm going to therapy every week, but you could actually be going to see somebody else and, leaking information through that. But either way, the real reason why Tony didn't want people to find out too was like, oh, it hurts the whole macho vibe. It makes you feel like you're weak and you're not fit to be a boss, which he's really not, which he even acknowledged that he's not, because he can't handle the stress of even what he's doing being a capo. And so now, okay, so that's strike 1. Strike 2 is the fact that he's holding these secret meetings behind Junior's back. Now, here's the mistake that Tony makes. I'm not saying whether he should do that or not, like, oh, you should be respectful to Junior or whatever, but it's an inconsistency, right? He's a hypocrite, and he made a mistake, because it's like, you're the one who promotes Junior to be boss in episode 4, right? If you want to hold these secret meetings, or if you want to be the boss or have somebody else be the boss, then don't make Junior the boss. So you make a mistake. Tony makes Junior the boss, but then he still keeps having these secret meetings. It's one of 2 things. Either make somebody else the boss or yourself the boss, try at least, right, even if that causes conflict, and then you don't have to worry about that. Or if you do make Junior the boss, then give up these secret meetings and just let him actually be the boss. Tony caught himself between 2 of his own decisions where, yes, you want to make him the boss, but make him feel like he's the boss and still have these secret meetings. You got to give up one or the other. Don't make him the boss at all, and I can respect that. Or do make him the boss, but then give up the meetings. Now you're hiding them from him, so that's a perfectly justifiable reason to feel betrayed by Tony, even though it's not maybe entirely for the reason that Junior thinks. Like, Junior thinks it's because he's basically trying to overthrow him at this point, maybe try to kill him, but he's been doing it all along. But whatever the implication, like, you're still undermining the boss in a very bad way. You have to make that decision as Tony. You're the one who put him in this position, and now it's coming back to bite you, and it's coming back to bite you in the sense that, you're caught between 2 mistakes. Don't make him the boss at all, and like I said, when you did, I've been kind of right on that. You'll live to regret that, because you could have already just died, right? You make him the boss, but you underestimate him, and you think, oh, you can play behind his back and do what you're doing, but, you had to know that was going to come back to bite you. So leaving those secret meetings hanging, see, it's not me taking like a moral position, right? They're both criminals, whatever. and Tony's doing what's in his best interest. Okay, I want to hold the secret meetings. Junior's going to do what's in his best interest, but neither of them are good or bad from that standpoint, but it's just a strategic standpoint. It's not a good idea to make somebody boss and try to keep a secret like that from them and then not expect it to come back on you, right? So it's just simply a bad decision, right? Not a moral issue like, oh, Tony's a bad guy for holding these secret meetings, although he kind of is stupid still for doing it, and doing it in a way that he knows that Junior goes to the nursing home, even though Junior didn't figure out that way. Right, and then Livia's pretending to have memory loss with Meadow, so she's seeming more and more like a menace and more like she's almost somehow the real boss, or they're kind of doing it by committee between Junior and her. He always asks for her opinion, and she kind of either she really doesn't know, but no, she knows at least more than she's letting on, so I don't know. She's just kind of pretending, and the show will end with her killing both Junior and Tony and taking over as the real boss, like sitting on a throne with a glass of wine, like, haha, exactly as planned. This is exactly, I wanted them to take the fall and then take over for my husband, who is such a saint. But no, a lot of what she does is sort of put on. So the two strikes are, again, the fact that Tony goes to therapy, the fact that Tony's having these secret meetings, and then number 3 is the fact that Tony was making fun of him and talking about going down on the girl, which that one I don't even care about too much myself, but you can understand, like, he's beating like a dead horse and making such a big deal out of it and showing no respect to the boss. That's like a Shinebox sort of moment where, you know, Billy Bass is talking shit to Joe Pesci, like, to Tommy, just that, oh, go get your Shinebox. You don't talk that way to a made man, or you don't talk that way to a boss at a golf game with other associates, and just period, and being so petty and peevish and immature about it. So Tony's got issues that way. Like, it's not even helping Tony. Like, at least the secret meetings are like, okay, you're at least getting something out of it. You're maintaining a certain amount of control, right? So I get that. There's no incentive behind teasing him about the going down on a girl. Again, you made this guy the boss, and now you're going to antagonize him in a way that couldn't possibly benefit you and could only hurt you, right? There's nothing you're getting out of that other than just being petty in a particular moment. So those 3 strikes combined would justify, as much as they're fans of baseball, right? They're at a ball game talking about Augustus and stuff in episode 6 or something. And so, you know, that kind of theme is here. So Tony should be familiar with the concept of 3 strikes and you're out. And so he's out. That's a justified hit. So I'm not holding that against Junior for doing it sort of flippantly. In fact, I've been much more hair-triggered than most of the characters in the series. Like, just kill him from the beginning. Just fucking kill him as soon as you become boss. Or just kill him in episode 5 when you have him, the associate, the guy who took out 12 people. Just kill Tony when you have the chance. Or even with Jimmy, why are you keeping Jimmy around? Just kill him. But if you kill him, then they'll try some other angle. Maybe the police are satisfied with that, like, oh, you know, we know it's him, but they don't know we know it's him. So now we're going to feed him wrong information, but I just still don't like that, right? I would have just killed him, but I get it. That announces that you knew something, and it could be problematic. Then they'll come at you in some different way, or they'll somehow figure out who did it to him or something, right? Through whatever. So it's Jimmy, but they haven't dealt with it yet directly. And then Junior always has these ominous lines, like, don't worry what I know, at the beginning of the last episode. Don't worry what I know, he says to Jimmy. So now you have a situation where Pussy is on the run, or he's gone as well, which maybe that'll be the big twist, that both of them were wired and both of them are rats, not just one of them. But no, this was at least 2 good episodes back to back, dealing with very heavy, intriguing subject matter, that they kind of jumped the gun a little bit with this one. Like, I wasn't expecting this sort of attempt to happen so soon, but like I said, he met the 3 strikes condition. Junior hasn't done much to justify any strikes, really, right? Like, if Tony was to kill Junior, what would be the reasoning? Aside from now, just to retaliate against the fact that, obviously, Junior is trying to hit Tony, but that was a rare -1 character point for Junior, because he botched it. Yes, he's hiring somebody out of town or whatever outside of his own clique, right? So you can understand why he does that, because he doesn't want it to be traced back to him, but he does it in such a sloppy way that, and he also jumps the gun in another sense. He kills the guys who hired him, who hired those, the black guys who were trying to kill Tony, but he kills them too early. He should kill them after the hit is already done or something. He kills them, like, when they're having that meeting, and then, Or maybe that was like the code. Junior says, I don't like the way he did such and such, in some casual passing way. But to them, that means, oh, that's your cue to kill them, or that's your cue to whack them, whatever. So he kills them, and then the guys from out of town, one of them gets killed by Tony, and one of them gets shot and gets away, I think. And so that was the biggest clown, worst hit attempt in the history of anything. And it sort of is emblematic of some theme of the series, right? If you're going to do something, do it all the way. And this is my whole elitist, victim blamer, absolutist tendency coming out. If you're going to do something in this sort of mob world, you have to go all the way with it. You can't cut it halfway. So when I'm saying like, oh, they're feeding Jimmy wrong information, even that being a good tactic doesn't work. Because the way they were so obvious with Pussy made him run away. So if it really was Pussy, you wouldn't be able to do that. So you made it obvious to him by asking him to take his clothes off 50 times in the washroom, in the sauna, whatever locker room. And so now he'd be aware that you're into him, and so now he runs away whether he's guilty or not. So now you don't even know whether he's guilty, and even if you did know, you didn't address it. So address it all the way or not at all. Don't make it obvious, right? So if you make your move, you got to be decisive. You either threaten him with a gun in that locker room, make him strip, find the wire, or kill him, whatever, or just don't even bring it up or be much more subtle about it, which you weren't, right? You kept beating like a dead horse, so you're making it too obvious to him, right, that something's up or you're suspecting him. So he goes on the lam, he runs away regardless whether he's actually done it or not, because you think that he is something, or I don't know what he would think exactly. Probably that he could have some other symbol that could be like a twist, like he has some tattoo that proves he's part of another gang or something. I don't fucking know. Like what else would he be hiding about his body, right? They didn't really address that if it's not a wire. But he's just offended by the implication, and he's been with them for so long that, like, whatever. But I would almost just announce it, like just announce to everybody we have a rat suddenly, and just say, now you got to take off your clothes and show it one by one, like just right now, right? The way that Costello does it, like in The Departed. Everybody do this right now, and it's like, you don't try to hide the fact that there's a rat, you openly say it so that we're all kind of looking around our shoulders. But I guess they don't want to create panic like that either, or like obviously a lot of people do know. Like Chris is feeding him bad information and stuff like that. So yeah, you got to do it all the way though. Like for example, when you're doing the guy who's going to kill Tony in episode 5, he does it halfway. He's going to kill, or no, that's even Tony's fault, right? Tony sees the guy at a gas station by just pure dumb luck, happenstance, right? And so now he gets the jump on him. He goes to his house. And so if you're going to go to his house, now you got to commit. I'm just going to go in there and kill him, kill his wife too if you have to, or just trying to do it stealthily, wait there as long as you have to and wait till the morning, sneak up on him, whatever you got to do. You committed to going to his house and announcing your presence, so now you have to finish the job. You can't cut it halfway and say, oh no, now I'll have second thoughts, I'll get spooked by the dog or something, and now I'm going to go back and wait till later. Now you're giving him the opening, which he takes advantage of. He sees you, he sees your car, whatever, right? He's asking questions, he tracks him down. Right, you've seen this tall, fat Italian guy, because he's not stealthy at all. He's asking the guy in, like, the garage. So now the problem is, he gets to jump on you, and he kills you because you did it halfway. If you didn't go to his house at all, maybe he wouldn't have known, or, maybe he saw you at the gas station, too. I didn't really catch that. And again, he fails even on another level. He chases him in the car, right? He sees him at the gas station. Presumably, they both see each other, maybe, right? And they would both recognize each other. But then Tony chases him in the car with Meadow, and I'm not going to use that as an excuse because this is the business you've chosen. You got to deal with it, taking your kid to college. I'm not going to feel bad for you, even though the clown did, who's killed 12 people and he's a hardened criminal, whatever. But the point is that Tony does it halfway. He sees him there at the gas station, just happenstance, right? So that's neither a plus nor a minus. It's just random. It's dumb luck, bad luck, good luck, whatever. But it's like, okay, you see him there. Right, now you chase him in your car and make it obvious to him, right, you're following him, driving crazy, right, he's running away from you or whatever. So he knows that you're chasing him. So now he knows somebody's after him, so he could run away again, go on the lam again, he could track you down, whatever. And so now, again, you do it halfway. You start chasing him, you make it obvious that you're after him, but then you give up and go to the hotel, right? And you just hang out with Meadow. So you make it obvious there, but you don't finish the job. So you do it halfway. Then you also go to his house, but then you don't finish the job. You do it halfway. So you're giving him too many openings where you're making it obvious what you're trying to do, and it's not decisive. Then that guy, lucky for you, also does the same thing, but you gave him that initiative because you weren't decisive, right? You get the advantage, arguably, of seeing him at the gas station happenstance, and so now you get the jump on him potentially at the house or by chasing him, but then you don't finish the job. And so now that opens you up to being killed. So the same thing is like here, where there's another instance like that too, that I can't remember, like some other moment in the preceding episodes where it's like, don't do it halfway. No, like even the previous episode, not this one, but episode 11, like, again, if you're going to do it in the locker room, make him take off his clothes, then make him do it. Hold him at gunpoint, do whatever you got to do. Or if you don't, then don't make it so obvious and announce what you're trying to do, right? So you fail on both levels. If you're going to be subtle, then be subtle. If you're going to be forceful, then be forceful and make him do it, or just kill him right there, right? Instead, you're halfway, and so now you let him run away without even verifying. At least if you searched him properly, held him at gunpoint, and didn't find the wire, now if he runs away, at least you know for sure he didn't have a wire at the very least. Right now, he could have still had a wire or not, and so he ran away too. And so he might have had the wire, but you didn't confirm it, so you didn't kill him, right? And you didn't find out. And you also let him be offended. So if he didn't have the wire, you also don't know that. So if you're going to make it that obvious in the locker room, at least verify what's happening. Then he'll still run away because he's offended. Like, okay, he doesn't have a wire, so he's a good guy, so you have nothing to worry about. But he's just upset, and he runs away because he's just bothered by it, or he's got something else to hide, who knows. But you didn't even verify it. So again, what purpose did that serve? You're doing everything halfway. So Tony goes to the guy's house and chases him in the car in episode 5, but he doesn't finish the job. And then also, this guy, I don't even know that guy's name, who's in the locker room with him, but he's asking him way too conspicuously, take off your clothes like 50 times, and then you're able to basically not get anywhere with it because of the simple fact that you're not able to do it decisively. Again, you don't learn anything, you don't verify anything one way or the other, whether he's guilty, whether he's innocent, whether he has a wire, whether he doesn't, whether you're going to whack him, whether you're not. Nothing is resolved aside from you just clowning around and making it obvious and sort of revealing your hand, right? And so now here's the third instance of that happening in the show, where the guys, it's partly Junior's fault, obviously, so I gave him a -1, so he's at a +2, and Tony's at a -1, so he's catching up. But what you have is the simple fact that if you're going to do the hit, do it all the way. There's no such thing as a half hit, right? There's no such thing, there was some expression I was going to use, like, there's no such thing as hitting halfway, or like a partial hit. You got to do it all the way. You can't pull your punches, right? You either do a hit or you don't. There's no in between. There's no, oh, I failed, or oh, I tried and I let them know, and now they're going to have a chance to retaliate. Either you do the hit or you don't. There's no in between, right? And so it fucked up. So it's his fault for how he contracted the people and all that stuff. He's crouching in the car in some not really very, efficient way. Park around the corner so they could never even have a chance to see you. Not just that you're ducking in the car and shit. But that wasn't the smoothest moment for Junior overall. But even beyond that, you have the simple fact that whether from Junior's side or whether from the people he hired side, they don't finish the job. So it's like, they have the chance the first time and Chris blocks them in. And they make a scene and they fight with him and all that. So they don't pursue him, they don't get out on foot, they don't do anything. And so they have the chance, but they do it halfway, right? Even if it's incidental, whatever. And then the second time, they're approaching him, but they walk up to the car and try to melee hit him, like whack him in the face with the gun, maybe because they're trying to avoid a headshot, blah, 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 whatever. But it's still like, you hit him in the chest and you just end it. But instead you walk up close, you let him grab the gun. Like, you have the long range advantage. He's sitting in the car. There's nothing he can do. I guess he can drive away, but you're announcing your presence, whatever. So you don't finish the job there, and so now you're fucked. So that's the fuck up both on Junior's part and on those people's fault, right? That you do it halfway, where now you've made it obvious that you're trying to hit him. I mean, that somebody is always trying to hit him, but also you make it obvious as you're doing it. You walk up, he sees you in the mirror, and then he's at his lowest point too. And so now you're in a position where again, you got two guys, you got guns. He's just one guy. He's in a depressed state. He's in the car. You walk up to him. You like offer the gun up to him basically where he can grab it, and then you don't even take advantage of it. Like, you've committed to doing it, so you have to finish the job. And so that, as much as I still gave Tony a +1 for that moment, whatever, it's still not very impressive because it's like there's nothing that Tony could have really done to stop it. They just stand back a little bit and shoot you, or they whatever, block you in with their car. They should have learned that technique from Chris, right? Just block him in with the car like they did to you the day before, and then shoot him there. Or there's so many things you can do. Get him while he's getting fruit, like the Godfather. You know, he's at a vegetable stand or something. You know, get him like that. There's so many ways you could do it. So if you're going to do it decisively and one-off. Right now, you've done it in the worst way possible, where you've made it obvious, you give him a chance to retaliate. You not only don't finish the job, but now he even knows you did it in such an obvious way. So in other words, don't make the move unless you're going to do it decisively. Don't make it like, oh, I'm walking up to you, you can see me with a gun, and then I'm going to, don't even make that move unless it's going to be final. So there's been a few indecisive moments where, they're not finishing the job of what they're trying to do. And they're also announcing it and making it obvious in the process, right? That's even worse. At least my methodology would be like, okay, I won't do it because I know it's going to be obvious or sloppy and fuck up, so I just won't do it. And you'd still be better off, right? Because now you've tried to do it, you've failed to do it, so now either you'd have to do it again, but now they're on guard and they're on alert, right? Or you're going to be in a position where, they're suspecting you, or they'll try to find out who did it and they'll be more on guard. The best way to get them is at the beginning when you're in a position like, where you're basically like, when they wouldn't suspect it at all. Like, Tony wasn't expecting that to happen, right? So that maybe the first day if Chris didn't block them, they would have got him. So he escapes on plot armor. So the other point on the same theme of the whole game theory failures, there's 3 conditions on which this series will end. I'll stop watching it, and it'll sort of fail. Right, and I always do these sort of weird formats with stuff, but I've been enjoying doing this, so that I'm watching a lot of these shows for the first time. Like, I'll watch The Big Bang Theory until an episode fails to make me laugh, so it has to make me laugh once per episode. Or I'll watch, like, a horror series until an episode fails to scare me. And then also the inverse of that I've been doing with other ones. Like, I'll watch a comedy series until I laugh, and if I laugh, it's over, almost like a try not to laugh challenge. And then I'll watch and to this show's credit, as much as I am not the biggest fan of the comedy element and some of the family intrigue with the kids and stuff, it has made me laugh a couple times. In fact, Meadow herself in the last few episodes has been absolutely hilarious. Maybe that's just my kind of humor. She always has this really snarky, really out of left field reference, like talking about prostitution should be legal at the dinner table or the breakfast table, and then she's saying like, what do you know about the stock market? And what was the other one? She said 2 companion lines like that in back-to-back episodes, like, what do you know about the stock market? And also, I don't know, she said something similar to that in a previous episode, but she's had like these really snarky bitch face type lines and moments, and she's really an amusing character to me. I like her for that purpose alone. But no, the failure states of this particular series, basically the inverse of my other formats, is like, watch until you get scared or watch until you laugh or something like that. But what I am doing, and I also was thinking I was going to add another one in there, like there's like the comedy slot 1 and 2 and then the horror slot 1 and 2 for those. I could add like a 5 and 6 where it's like, these are like on my other days, so like tomorrow I'll do one of these slots and then the day after I go back to this one. This is like my main series. But the point is with that other slot, it's like, I could add a 5 and a 6 that's like a detective show. Watch until you predict the outcome, like predict who the killer is in the episode. If it's like Law and Order or something, I don't know exactly how I would do that, but I should add that. So 5 and 6 would be like detective or drama slot 1 and 2. So like watch a drama until you cry, or watch, we'll figure out, but there'll be some other 5 and 6 that I could potentially do there, just to give me a variety of series. And of course, any of those could go on for a very long time if they meet the condition or fail to meet the condition, whatever. One of them feels like it's almost unfair because, like watch until you laugh, but the point of the show is to make you laugh, so you're almost punishing the show for being funny. Like that should be a good thing, but whatever. It's not like I'm saying the series is bad because of it, one way or the other. Although if it fails to make you laugh for like a whole season or something, that could be a problem too. So what we have here is, these are the 3 failure states for this show, and some of them I've come up with as I went along, but they kind of make sense. If it gets 3 F-letter grades, then I stop watching in the whole show. It doesn't have to just even be in one season, it could be the whole show. So we have one so far, which was episode 9, right? The one before the music one, about like the soccer coach and stuff, just dealing with such uninteresting subject matter, junior sex life plus soccer coach drama, not exactly the best combination. You at least need one of those storylines to be a little heavier and better, kind of like what we've seen here with the mole, or with the, with the rat with the wire, and the thing, the hit on Tony. Like, these are more serious things. You can combine one of those lesser subject matters, like a soccer coach, with that, but you can't do it on its own, or do it together with 2 uninteresting subject matters. So that was a failure episode. That was an F. But I think it's unlikely, it's unlikely you'll see too many like that. That was a rare exception. That was a terribly written episode. It felt like complete. It's like 2 filler episodes in one. It's not just filler, but you're combining filler with, like 2 potential filler plot lines. You're combining together into one. Right, one episode where either one of those would be undesirable on its own, but to have both of them in the same one were shameful. So that's an F. So if it gets 2 more throughout the whole rest of the series, which is 6 seasons long, then we'd stop watching at whatever point that is. But I think that's unlikely to happen. Number 2 is if Tony gets to a -10 on the character point system, which could happen, but I also think that's unlikely because, he went on a bad streak towards the beginning, and he's as low as -4 and hovering around there. So if he gets to -10, it's over. But now he's gone on a good streak, and now he's at -1, right? So it's very unlikely he'll go on that bad of a streak by getting, he'd have to get a lot of minuses in a row without any pluses, which is, if it's written that way, then Tony's just a shitty character, right? Like, it's hard to imagine. And then I almost could do it like where if Junior gets to a +10, then Tony loses and the series is over. You know what? We'll do that too. So if Junior gets to a +10, or you know what? No, I won't even say if he gets to a +10. Well, see, I'd say instead of +10, if he's +10 over Tony, but he already almost was that. He was +3 and Tony was -4, so he's already +7 above him, right? So that's too dangerous. If Junior gets to a +10, I'll consider it, but I won't say that for sure, because it's quite possible that he will get to a +10, but he's only at a +2 now. So, but mainly if Tony gets to a -10, if Junior gets to a +10, maybe it'll be over. If Junior even lasts that long. And then the third failure condition is the simple fact that if it fails on 3 game theory plot armor moments, where Tony gets his life saved during the course of one season, right? Because I'm sure it'll happen over the course of the show the way it's being written. If Tony gets saved by plot armor from being killed 3 times throughout a season, then it'll reset at the next season. Then it will be over. So he's already had that happen twice, right? So in this rest of the season, I don't know how long these seasons are, like maybe 23 episodes is typical for like American television shows, I think, just based on the few that I've seen, or like based on animes, it's like 25 episodes, but that's usually like the whole show, right? Like Death Note or something, or I guess that still was season 1, but a lot of the time animes are just 25 episodes overall for the whole series, and they tend to not be super long if they're not like multi-season type things. But no, you have we're on episode 13, unlucky 13 at that, and we aren't even in a position where we can do anything, because we've already had that happen twice. The game theory failures of both episodes 5, where he's about to die outside the hotel and he gets saved to no credit of his own. He doesn't even know, right? Because he has his daughter Meadow, but that doesn't excuse it. Like, that's one of the weaknesses you have in your life, so I'm not going to excuse you on that. It's like if somebody takes them hostage, like, these are all things you got to be aware of. So this is the business and the life that you've chosen. And then on the other level, you have the simple fact of, okay, so that's strike number 1. Then strike number 2 is the fact that already, obviously in the last episode, you escape by plot armor, basically, because again, you don't deserve any credit for that. Yes, you kind of fight them off, but it felt like such a contrived thing. Like, there's no reason why they have to do it like that. So you could say, they're just incompetent, but that felt like just, he can't die because he's the main character. It didn't really feel like he was super well prepared for that situation. He just happens to see it in the mirror. He just happens to, it felt way too happenstance that it could have easily just been, they just stand back a little bit and shoot him from a distance. Like, how hard is that? Like, what, he was going to drive away or something? But, I don't know. So that wasn't very convincing. So that's already a count 2. So in the rest of this season, it can't have another moment like that. Because if it does, then it's actually over. Right? That would count as the failure state, which that one seems kind of harsh, and it actually might happen. Like, maybe Junior will try to do another attempt on him, and it'll just lead to, him having to escape again. Because it's like, what are you doing to earn it? What did he do in episode 5 to earn it? Nothing. Right? The guy doesn't kill him because he always feels bad for him. And then at that point, it's like, Tony just sneaks up on him and wins. Not even Chris coming to save him, which, see, that wouldn't be such a minus because, well, that's kind of a different moment, though, but that would have just been better writing, but that's not to Tony's credit either. This guy's just so capable, or Tony's so much of a clown that you have to have Chris come to save you, which also I thought was going to happen, like last episode, but then they cut Chris again on a potential savior moment. He technically does save him because arguably they would have just taken him out right then and there, right, if Chris wasn't just happenstance blocking them, but what you have is, like, the last episode, what did Tony do? He wasn't prepared, he wasn't aware of it, doesn't have a bodyguard, he has nothing going for him, aside from these guys are just clowns, so that is almost like a plot armor thing, like, they wouldn't even have to be super competent to have beaten him there, to have killed him there, right? They would just have to be, like, moderate, right? They don't have to be, like, geniuses or do anything crazy. He's just a sitting duck, an easy target, like I said. My own line comes back to haunt me that, how hard would it be to kill this guy? And the answer is it wouldn't be hard at all. Well, that's exactly what happened. Like, it wasn't hard at all in either case, but yet the show just kind of lets him off the hook from the writing perspective. He's not doing anything to really earn it or to impress anybody that way. So at that point, it's very likely to actually happen. I don't want it to end necessarily because of that, but if we get another one of those bullshit plot armor sort of moments, we will absolutely end it there. So that's kind of a high standard. The other conditions are pretty unlikely to happen, but one of them spans the whole season, or they both span the whole season. Right, if Tony gets to -10 at any point, and that's cumulative throughout seasons, then if he gets to -10, it's over. Maybe if Junior, I'll leave that out for now, but maybe if Junior gets to a +10, we'll count that. And then also, if you get 3 Fs throughout the whole series, that also counts. Then the only other thing is, see, like, this is why I like doing this, because I come up with all these other ways, too, on top of it. Just, like, the real point is I haven't watched many shows, so I'm just trying to do it, but this is a good way to do it on top of that, in my own style. But then the only other point is the simple fact that if you, again, get saved by plot armor 3 times in the same season, which, again, it's disturbing to think about because I didn't even say this one before, and it's not me, like, trying to escape from watching it anyway, because I generally like it, although it was on a bad streak of episodes for a while there. But no, that was a pretty shitty moment. Livia's looking to be a bit of a menace, too, sort of acting even more, like, forgetting about Meadow. Let me actually watch that again. That was kind of a cool scene for some reason, just after the hit. So they were convinced, like, it couldn't have been Junior because he shows up, as if he couldn't just do that. But that was also Livia's idea. Like, Junior was even saying he doesn't want to see him, or he shouldn't show up. But then Livia suggests, no, you should do it. You should go there. And he's kind of all mad and getting mad at Livia because she's like the real mastermind behind all this, I guess. Is almost what it feels like sometimes. So, let me see that scene again, and then I'll check, then I'll start the next one. So, this is Chris, like, saying it had to be your uncle, so that's pretty smart, even though he has bias and doesn't like Junior. This is also a pet peeve of mine, too, like, when characters discuss things that are supposed to be secret so openly. Like, Junior's walking in, and, like, what if he can read lips or something? But they're saying that, that you're running things behind his back. Or even later in the scene, they say the same thing, like, I thought it was him, but now it's glasses and all. He's here, glasses and all. They're saying it openly, and he's sitting right there. Like, that's not really not very subtle. Everybody's just like very headstrong and compulsive and not very secret. Everyone always says it Curaçao, like blue Curaçao, not a Curacao. Isn't that just more for mixing, though? Like, you just drink Curacao straight? I don't know how. Look how openly he's saying that. Fuck, I thought it was him. Like, just, this is the boss, dude. You say that instead of the boss? You think he's dumb or something? See, now the mother says something. There's something going on with Livia that's actually fascinating. Who is that girl? But she's trying to show her memory so bad that you can't accuse her of anything. She's sort of playing it up. And then the Anthony Jr. is going to some prom or something. Yeah, he cheats that for the second time, but not in a very impressive way. Right, that doesn't... It doesn't really feel like he deserves a ton of credit. I did give him a character point for it, though, still. Because he's like... He's at his lowest point, and he still fights him off, but... It doesn't make sense. They're trying to use it like a gun, like it's an axe, or like they have to get in close. Maybe because they're trying to avoid, again, shooting him in the face, or trying to stop him from driving away. As if he couldn't still drive away even as they're doing that, like, and I think he kind of does maybe at the end, but no, that would have been an easy kill. The therapist seems to be getting a little bit attracted to him, maybe in this moment or something. She likes certain things about him, like the bad boy aspect, or, I don't know, the fact that she keeps seeing him. I really wasn't expecting her to be such a major character, and even though I kind of like her, it feels like a contrived plot point, right? This kind of thing is a cliche that they're sort of beating over and over with these kind of scenes. Home box office. We discovered what HBO stands for finally. I mean, I probably knew that, but... So let's go ahead and start from the beginning. I Dream of Jeannie Kuzumano. I keep trying not to read those titles, but it's hard not to. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1, and this... Oh, fuck. It didn't happen. This one's like an hour long, so what the fuck? We're starting in 3, 2, 1. But it kind of delayed it. This is so fucked up at the beginning. At least it doesn't play an ad with some of these, but I don't know why sometimes it'll go and show like a max ad for something on here every single time you go back to 0. So we'll start in 3, 2, 1. There is like a delay, but whatever. That much is okay. I like this format because it's easy. Once again, another song. That's always a bad sign. But the last 2 episodes are at least decent, or at least dealing with good subject matter, too. But you have the simple ability to, what do you call it? I should have guessed just from the casting at the beginning. Lorraine Bracco is like the second one listed after James Gandolfini, so she's the co-main character of the fucking show, apparently. It'll end with them getting married or something. I don't fucking know. He leaves his wife. But no, these episode lengths are kind of random and sporadic. But no, I like these formats because I can just do it so easily. The only thing I need, like, you just edit the audio and just upload it like that. You don't have to do any video editing or anything. But also, you're not stealing from copyrighted content and doing that. But also, it's like, I don't know. I need like a better mic to maybe drown out some of this background noise, which would still be pretty hard to do. So we've redeemed kind of the bad streak. I think I gave a B to maybe both of the last episodes. Right, so we were on a streak of like episode 6, 7, 8, 9, or 6, 7, 8 were all C. Then 9 was like a F. Then 10 was maybe like a C again. Then 11 and 12 were both like Bs. So Jimmy's pretending to be worried about something. The way Jimmy talks is kind of pseudo-professional. That's kind of amusing. I still don't really buy that, though. Oh, he's talking about fingerprinting technique. That doesn't mean he's the mole. Like, or now he's making it obvious. So Tony doesn't know it's Junior, though. They're kind of on good terms, and Tony's going to whack Jimmy. They waited long enough. But you got to give some pretense. Like, why did you kill him? Not because you knew he had a wire, because you don't want them to know that you know that. Then they'll just... Oh, so the friends of Tony's mistress, apparently. So you have, my standard was more like, start using code language, which you should have been doing in the first place, but you should at least do it now, but they still won't do it. So even if somebody was wearing a wire, no matter how much you think you trust them, just always speak, not in Tarantino's league, though, do it like it'd be in code, so you would never know. So a true absolutist would do it where they always speak in code, no matter what, from the beginning. Somebody remotely competent would do it here, like if you know, once you hear about a rat, so Chris obviously setting up the hit there, pretty good. That just happened like very fast, so that was actually efficient. If only juniors had been that efficient. Meadow having some fun fooling around. This show is sexualizing kids. This is the Dan Schneider effect. Let's make a documentary about it. I see, is that acceptable to show? How old is that? She's up to something, too. She's always smarter than she lets on. Or she's trying to make it seem like she's crazy. She's like caught in the past. Is that what she called her last episode too, or maybe she called her something else? Then why the fuck did you come all the way here? You got a cop coming in, so she'll act all dumb. Oh, the cop's just going to take that kind of back talk? Or now her memory will come back to bite her somehow. Good excuse to search the house, though, to come here at 1 in the morning, right? This is how the show started, with all these episodes that she was having. He's been very defensive of his mother here, though. Maybe she's involved. How could she be that perceptive? How would she know this? Back to the Ducks again. How is she this good? But she wouldn't be able to whack him anyway. It's still through, it's still through Junior that she can do it. I wish you were a long time ago. And she's right, too. You always storm out and you come crawling back, though. I wish you would have been done with her a long time ago. The more right you are, the more mad they get. Yeah, and you knew he was crazy from before. He's calling you a whore or something. Yeah, like that's going to save you. Oh, they finally decided it wasn't arson. They keep calling it the carjacking. I like this guy. He's very sincere. that's like, that's why your old place got burned down, because there was going to be a hit there. That's what happens when you turn it into a mom hangout. That's a +1 actually for the therapist, because what the fuck was that? Jackie's watch. Like, they're setting up this as a duality, too. Like, she'll end up with the father, and Tony will end up with the therapist, like, by the end of the series or something. But what you have is the therapist gets a +1 for figuring that out. And I don't know how the fuck she figured it out. She thinks the mom... He has some good one-liners sometimes, Grasso again, that he doesn't like for other reasons outside of just being an agent. This is the witness... What is... They'll use his mother against him somehow. Oh shit. This is... Oh my god. And you thought you were smart for putting the fucking guns in there, you dumbass. So the therapist gets a +1 for that, obviously, for deducing that. But that's a +1 for Livia, too, for being such a badass, though they're putting it all together. But it's the mother's betrayal. So who do you blame there, Junior or the mother? Because Junior's actually doing the right thing. But it's the mom who betrayed you. What, are you going to have to whack both of them? See, now he's getting an upper hand, so how's he going to fuck it up this time? Like, kill them both now, and I'll give it to you there, but how do you kill the boss? Like, how do you do that? They're gonna poison her with the fucking food or something? She's just bitter. Like, she doesn't care even. She doesn't want money. She doesn't want anything. She's just mad. No, but that's a boss. That's more than a +1, really. Not that we didn't know all that already, but the way they presented that. It's a low blow, though. You go after the mom. She actually had me fooled, because even when you hear it on the recording, we've heard all that before, but I just didn't believe it. That she really knew what she was doing. But it makes it seem more like the mother's to blame than Junior, but Tony takes them both out right now. If he's actually the character he should be, but he's not. Or she's gonna spill the beans on this too. We're in the restaurant. Oh my god, dude. So she gets a +2 for this whole thing. This is the first double character point so far. Just that she's the mastermind and even had me fooled and questioning myself. She's kind of gaslighting me. Like, I don't know. So she's +3, therapist is +2. You made him the boss, dude. Now deal with it. This is the kind of mano a mano I wanted, but you're going to fail to kill Junior too, because he's going to be too good for this. So let's see how you both had your chance. So Junior did fuck it up. You get an extra character point for killing the other one too. So if you kill Junior, they're dealing with the kind of stuff I was waiting for. This is what we want to see. You are a bit of a clown, so you kind of deserve it. Don't use the word duck, that'll trigger him. You tried and you failed. Yeah, and you deserve to get killed by them. I still don't know. Maybe it's not entirely an act. Because what was she doing before that would justify it? Yeah, see, you did the shine box moment. Yeah, those are the strikes. He's putting the 3 strikes together. What was the 3rd strike? I think you're gonna fail. That it was your mom and you're not gonna do anything about her? Because I guess she doesn't have any power. Right, like, she's not actually a member of the mob, she's just sort of talking to Junior. And Junior wouldn't have done it without her okay, right? Effectively. Which I didn't realize wasn't okay. Really, that's not going to raise any red flags? Doing it out in the open in public? Are you fucking stupid? What the fuck are you doing? That was pretty conspicuous. I thought you'd go out to sea and then knock him in the water or some shit and shoot him there. You don't do it on the fucking pier. But the point is that no, Junior will survive and now they'll have an ongoing rivalry for the rest of the show. And he still is the boss, right? You can't undo that. This is where Tony fucked up. You're fucked with the wrong guy, dude. But no, what was the 3rd strike? He brought 2 of them up, so I like that I call that. Psychiatry, making fun of the muff thing, and then what's 3? What's 3? I forgot. What? Oh, having the secret meetings. Obviously, that's the main reason. As if that wouldn't trigger him instead of the muff thing. Like, the muff is the lowest on the totem pole. The secret meetings are at the top. Yeah, appropriate reaction. Fuck this clown, dude. Yeah, like that'll work against him. And now you've pissed her off enough where she could rat you out on other things, too, that you've told her like a clown. If he wanted to kill you, he'd be more subtle. Oh, wait, he wouldn't be because he's a clown. Like, whatever. You have, oh, shit, look at her. Oldest trick in the book here. Like, but no, on the totem pole, the secret meetings are number 1, the muff is the bottom, and the middle is, the middle one is the psychiatry, because he might be leaking stuff, which he is. Oh, you were after Isabella, now you're after Jean? Maybe she doesn't like Jean, so she wants to hear this. Yeah, then that should be obvious, you dumb fuck. Who made you go see a shrink? Maybe they don't care. Wouldn't that announce that you're the therapist? How would they know? Oh, you're doing it for her. You could still give them more than you realize. Just go on a vacation, like the old give me tickets, like you did to the other guy who you burned his restaurant. Not just a doctor, but she's been a good advisor. She's been like your little right hand who's always tells you the right thing, like make Junior feel like he's in control, like make your mother feel like she's in control, right? That advice and other things like that. That back pain could be caused by keeping a secret. Do it. Do it. Yes, even he's saying do it. So easy to fucking turn them against you, dude. You're a fucking clown. This is the Plot Armor 3. The show is over. It's over. Plot Armor count 3. Fuck you, Tony. Do it, man. But she's telling the truth, isn't she? He tried to send you on vacation, to be fair. Like how he tries to keep the soccer coach. Yes, you are that fucking stupid, you dumb shit clown, Tony. You just ended the series. This guy's so easy to kill. You have to parade out a plot armor every episode. He's gonna kill you after this, though. Also doing it halfway, like, maybe this isn't a plot armor moment because it kind of is, though, like, but you don't care about your mother anymore, so. Man, I should actually end the series. It's just getting good, though, too. Maybe that's not plot armor because that's like a friend who could have easily killed you, and so you didn't. I don't know. Probably because you said it before. That's how he knows. The FBI bailed you out. She's putting on a pretty good act, dude. I must have... You're letting it slip that you know too much, though. It's a good act, dude. I don't know how you can break through it. You need, like, Patrick Jane to help you, like, with that guy pretending to be dumb. The arsonist guy. Try to quote Moby Dick and say it wrong, and his wife's bitching about every little thing, too. But no, he got bailed out kind of by the FBI, too. But that is a plot armor moment. He's worried about the defamation suit. But he got bailed out by the FBI, giving him that clue, and then with the clue, he still is a step behind because the mother has him beat with this guy, potentially. I'm going to therapy. But now you can't say I didn't tell her anything because you did tell her everything. I'm sure you did, Tony, you fucking clown. Business was discussed. Some names were mentioned. Yeah, they need a specialized mop therapist. Yeah, did Chris ever do anything like that? Chris thought about killing himself? like never meet your heroes type of moment where, you know, he's disappointed. Right, he looks up to Tony, and that seems weak-minded. You know, one thing Chris didn't show a reaction to was the fact of he just loves hitting on people's wives. He just gets off on that. The priest, using his position as a priest. Not as bad as what some priests do, but no, he's like, Tony's like, from the last scene, yeah, Chris hasn't shown much reaction to having broken up with his girlfriend, as much as he's sometimes a bitch about. You know, he's always kind of bitchy about everything. Now just kill everybody. Kill this guy. The heads of the five family moment. Kill Artie. Kill Junior. Kill your mom. He decided not to say it, but he also didn't kill Tony, so you really hold a gun in a mobster's face and don't finish the job. My same criticism again. Maybe I'll make it 5 a season, because that is like a legit 3. I don't fucking know now. That's so dumb, dude. This dude's getting carried by plot armor. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. Like, what did he do, really? He wasn't prepared for that situation. Right? Artie could have just killed him. And you might think, oh, that's just random, but it's part of Livia's scheming that she told him. Livia wanted to finish him off there. Fucking finish off the clown. I just fucking do it myself at this point. Livia, just grab a gun and shoot him in the fucking face. Like, it's not that hard. This guy's a fucking easy target. He's fat, too. He's big. Like, oh, she's his mom, but she clearly, I don't know. Like, she obviously doesn't want to. Yeah, get out of the car. The one advantage that you have. What are you doing? They kill the guy at the dock. They're killing somebody here. I just feel like this Junior thing can't be resolved because it's too good of a waste of a good character. If Junior dies now, then what is the rest of the intrigue of the show? Like, he was like the main boss, right? Literally the boss, but like, I mean, he could be the main antagonist. But see, I don't even blame him for doing it because good shot, get him in the leg. Chris doesn't fuck around too much. You're not even the one. Wasn't it the Russians, though, who did it? I mean, it was Junior who told him to do it, yes. What do you mean it was Junior? That's like saying, this wasn't Chris, this was Tony. Why did they overshoot like that, too? That's too much. Don't waste the bullets, dude. I thought the mob's going through tough economic times. These hits are actually kind of bad. Yeah, they keep doing them out in the other one they did out in the open at the docks, and then they're wasting bullets, making it too conspicuous, no silencer. Come on, you can do better. appropriate reaction. Fuck. So they got all the tapes from the nursing home. Meadow always has a good line to say. Yeah, see, they wouldn't waste a character like Junior by killing him off. You could say that's almost a plot armor moment too, but I didn't think... Yeah, just turn on the TV in the living room. Yeah, like, you admitted stuff. Junior admitted stuff at the Grove with the mom. But no, I don't think Junior would have been killed anyway. He's too good for that, but... That's a good way, I guess, a plot device to keep him alive or to keep the rivalry going. So he decides not to tell the wife, obviously, like when they were eating at the table, I like the bar stools. The priest doesn't get it. Yeah, stick it on Tony. He doesn't want to admit that for pride, maybe, but it's true. mean, that's partly true, but, like, you should have already whacked Tony by now, so I don't entirely buy that it went exactly as Tony planned, because you would have already been fucking dead. Right? Like, it didn't... So he should have done it, but he just doesn't want to admit that. Like, I should make it 5. Okay, I'll make it 5 for this season, but that'll be final. So we're at 3, because that did count. He gets bailed out by the FBI, and he wasn't ready for that situation. Yeah, I predicted that too. Oh, that's a good way to play it off. Yeah, he gets off on that idea of just flirting with other people's wives. He's a spiritual thirst trap. Just normal things that people like. You like food, you like movies, you like sex, sexual stuff. Like, yeah, everybody likes that kind of stuff. It's like the ADD diagnosis. Everybody fidgets. Like, not that big of a deal. What is she a psychiatrist now too? She profiled him correctly. No, I like how I said that this exact episode though. Yeah, he likes flirting with other people's wives and using his position as a priest to do it, I guess. A lot of shit went down. I guess that's maybe a +1 for Tony that... Well, whatever. It's a -1 on the plot armor. Maybe I shouldn't... I don't know. It would be over if I did that, the plot armor. Maybe that shouldn't be a condition. But yeah, that was kind of a shock to the system. Like... Or the mother's... he was gonna maybe kill her with the pillow, or I don't know what he was doing. You don't die that easy because of your fucking plot armor. Oh, you got like a little light Yagavi moment here. Yeah, Olivia definitely impressed though overall, but you still failed to do the hit, so I mean this is what you got. Kind of a tough moment for me whether that should end it or not. Or she's cleaning out her office. At least that means we'll see less therapy scenes. Just do them over the phone. Yeah, that's a good idea. Didn't let her patients know, including you. Stop paying her fucking bills. And the janitor just goes home. Guess that means my job is done. This is a decent episode, but it's kind of a lot. How did she even I'll make it 5, but I think those are legit. I don't know. I'll make it 5. I'll make it 5 a season. Just because I just came up with that idea, I'll make it 5. If it happens twice more, then I'll count it for sure. I just feel bad because, Artie could have killed him and it was by his mother's design, right? But he just didn't. You could say, oh, Tony talked him down, but it doesn't matter. Like, what if he just did? Like, Tony didn't do anything. Like, he was totally unprepared for that situation.